Hello Dead Zoners and Alliance members. Today I'm going to be showing you fuel raiding, which is a very specific type of raiding which requires a very small team going for a very specific target and no other objective. Now, always when you're raiding, view your enemy's compound first. Identify for fuel raiding, identify the fuel generator and identify if it's smoking to see if there's fuel being produced. So if it's worth running the raid. Now that fuel generator is running, it's very easily accessible. I've actually raided this guy before, so let's begin. By the way, if you're that person whom I'm raiding, I'm very sorry. So always ensure that you have a survivor that has a melee weapon. Always to cut through the barricades. And smoke grenades are essential. They are absolutely necessary to even working a raid. You need to have smoke in order to gain access to the fuel generators, because 9 out of 10 times the fuel generator will be overlooked by the enemy survivors, and the smoke grenade gives you this wall or passageway basically to the fuel generator. Now I've just noticed that there's a survivor there who's guarding the both entrances, the far and the close entrance. Oops, shit. Um, so they're guarding the far and close entrance, which means I can't gain access to their compound, which is the only way to get towards their fuel generator. So I clearly can't go around the compound because they have survivors guarding it. So I'm gonna have to take them out. Now, when you do a fuel raid, one of the one of the benefits of doing a fuel raid is that it requires very little resources. Only a smoke grenade and a bit of ammunition and 2 survivors max. An engineer and a recon for the traps. Because you generally use melee to cut through the barricades, and you use the smoke grenades to give yourself cover. So that's the benefit of a fuel raiding team. It's very low, low cost, low maintenance kind of thing. However, the fact that it is so lean, if you will, the drawback is if that anything goes wrong, you're pretty much screwed. For example, if the recon gets killed in this gunfight, the sniper down there, I have no way to kill the sniper because the other one has melee. I have no way to gain access to the compound because the sniper's still there, and the recon, I have no way of identifying where the traps are in the compound because the recon has been killed. And there are definitely traps in there because you can see by the layout of the beds and yes, gotcha. So yeah, so you use the recon to identify the traps, which is a hugely underestimated skill. I mean, it's not that underestimated, but traps will kill your survivors very quickly. So recons are the only ones that possess the ability. Now this is where the melee comes in. Like, if I didn't have a melee, then it would take me a long time to cut through these new compound doors, which they've just introduced. And I've also got the barricades at the end of the compound, closing off the end door that I need to cut through. So when you disarm traps, now this only applies to scatter bombs. Always try to disarm them from the side, or well, preferably from behind, just in case they accidentally go off. I mean, 95% they're most likely not going to go off, but just for that 5%, you don't want the scatter bomb going off in your engineer's or survivor's face, incidentally possibly killing them. But if you're behind, since the explosion is directional, the survivor will be harmless if the trap does go off. However, for ding-dongs from Wheel of Misfortune, this tactic doesn't work since the area of effect is 360 degrees. The Wheel of Misfortune, it really is. It's just, there's nothing you can do with it. I mean, you can toss explosive grenades, which also disarm traps. Now, this is handy if you don't want to waste your engineers' time if they're in a smoke screen. You don't want to waste their time disarming traps. And explosive grenades of all kinds. I mean, I generally don't use I generally use M67s or you know M27s or whatever they are called. I think it's M27s. I generally use them because they have high damage against buildings, which I think are what which disarm the traps better. Now, smoke grenades. This is where it comes in handy. Always throw the smoke grenade furthest first to give yourself this passage, like I've just done here. You can't actually toss through a smoke screen, unfortunately, so that's why you need to put the furthest one first, then you lay down the closest one. So it creates this smoke screen. Now, it's only got 30 seconds, and you'll be surprised how quickly those 30 seconds go. So, you've got to be snappy. Ooh, 21 fuel. Thank you very much, sir. And sorry for taking it. So, there you've just seen a fuel compound raid that only cost me 2 smoke grenades and 79 ammunition for the rifle. So it was very low cost, low maintenance. I got 21 fuel for it. It's easy once you find the right compound. You'll be surprised how poorly guarded fuel generators are these days. I mean, like, it should be warned that you shouldn't spawn near the enemy compound. Don't spawn in range of the watchtowers because your survivors will be shot at very quickly. But yeah, it should be warned also that once you conduct a fuel raid, most people will actually increase the security on their fuel generators. So just be careful about that. They will. So 21 fuel, very nice. I hope you found it helpful, and leave a comment, and yeah, good luck out there. Happy hunting. Bye.